What's going on, guys? Today I wanted to bring you another one of my 2014 WCQ hat format deck profiles. The deck I wanted to show off today is Ninja Dino Traptrix, or Ninja Hieratic Traptrix. This is a really cool deck, and a while back I put out the artifact version of this deck and kind of mentioned that I had a somewhat Dino version as well, and a lot of people messaged me asking if I could put out that deck profile, so that is what this deck is going to be. It's really cool and I'm excited to show it off, so let's get straight into this deck profile. So starting off with the monsters, we play 3 copies of Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo. On normal summon, this allows you to add a ninjutsu art card from deck to hand, and on flip or special summon, you're able to add a ninja monster from deck to hand other than Hanzo itself. And to pair with that, we are playing 2 copies of Upstart Golden Ninja. This is a soft once per turn, allows you to discard a trap card and special summon a ninja monster from deck. So it's a good way to basically tutor out another ninja monster and then be able to make rank 4s, or just have a bunch of different plays you can do, especially if you open this and multiple trap cards you can discard. After that, for the dinos, we play 3 copies of Hieratic Guaiba and 1 Hieratic Velo. What Guaiba does is, if it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you're able to special summon a Hieratic monster with 1700 or less attack from deck, and then it can't declare an attack this turn. Keep in mind, these are the only dinos we're playing in the main deck, and both have 17, so Guaiba can float into another Guaiba. And then Hieratic Velo has the effect when it's face up in attack position and is attacked or attacks and is destroyed by battle, you can special summon a Hieratic monster with 1700 or less attack from your deck. So basically, this is a floater, while this one is kind of like an extender. Some builds will choose to play multiple Velo, and even some will play a Hieratic Aolo. Because this deck specifically is playing so many engines and has so many normal summons, I was trying to minimize the amount of Hieratic I'm actually playing, or dinos in general, especially because with the ninja cards, you're able to just free summon out the dino cards, so you don't exactly even want to open them. There's builds that will even go as far as to play like 3 Guaiba, 3 Velo, 1 Aolo, and 3 copies of Fossil Dig to search them. Again, I just think that's too much, but having the chance to, if you open, say, a Guaiba, still be able to have Guaiba access into Velo, or Velo into a Guaiba into another Guaiba, just so you can make some of those powerful rank 4 Dino Xyzs that we'll talk about later. So that's why I think 4 is the perfect amount for this deck. After that, for the Traptrix, we are playing 3 copies of Traptrix Mermail. Obviously, on normal summon allows you to add a normal trap hole from deck to hand, and on special summon allows you to pop a back row. Really, really good card, and 1 copy of Traptrix Dionea. A lot of decks that play all the different engines try not to play Dionea, but in this one specifically, you have ways of getting Mermail out of deck for free. So if you open Dionea plus like some of the ninja cards, it's actually like not a dead card. It might be dead turn 1, but by, your turn 2 or turn 3, as you would say, it becomes live, and it's just so good. Being able to special summon back a Traptrix monster from grave on normal summon, or on special summon being able to recycle your normal whole trap cards in grave, just is really solid to then make a rank 4. After that, this is where my build is a little slightly different, is I chose to play hand traps. Some people will choose to play like a small hand package, so for example like 2 fire hand and 2 ice hand, or some people, just for consistency's sake, will swap hand traps for things like upstart goblins, which I've definitely done in the past, so if you want to change this up, this is the part that has a little flexibility. But for the time being, I'm playing 3 Max C and 2 copies of DD Crow. This deck does have a lot of space in a sense. So just like I said, if you want to play upstarts or you want to play a small hand package, you can definitely do that. Or if you even want to up the Dino count or play like Fossil Digs or some more ninjas, or like really you have a lot of flexibility. But I think in the current hat format, just in general, and this deck being a little more control-y, having Max C to slow down the combo decks, but also having DD Crow as disruption is very strong. And this deck does play a lot of trap cards, so slowing down combo decks is really good, especially if you're going second, so then you can set up all your traps and go into a grind game. So that is it for the monsters, though. For the spells, I play 3 copies of Forbidden Lance. Obviously, a lot of your monsters are decent in stats, and so they're susceptible to a lot of different cards. And just in general, being able to use something like Lance when you have the Guaiba set up, so you can guarantee you're always getting over the opponent's monster and getting a special summon of a Dino to then make an Xyz, or, you know, making sure that your monsters aren't getting negated with things like Fiendish Chain or Breakthrough Skill and different things like that. So pretty much this just guarantees that your plays are going to stick, but it also works kind of like a battle trap to get over problematic cards and things. After that, the one controversial card I think for me personally is Pot of Duality. And I say that just because there are a decent amount of cards in this deck that special summon, but at the same time, a lot of your turn ones, you want to basically just try to find Hanzo, even if it's just for its normal summon effect to get your ninjutsu art card. So I think 2 Duality is really good, especially since, you know, like I said, this deck does play a lot of trap cards. So playing a slow, grindy game is good to start off, especially if you're going first and you don't have your battle phase. So 2 Duality I think is completely fine. Again, if you want to swap out some of the hand traps, you could put in like upstart goblins and things. If anything, you could even like drop 1 Max C and, you know, something else, and or like take these 2 out and a Max C and play 3 upstart if you prefer that. But in general, I have been liking the 2 Duality for consistency's sake. 2 copies of Soul Charge. Once this deck gets going and has a lot of its cards kind of used up, Soul Charge just guarantees you're going to win the game. And the last spell is 1 copy of Reinforcement of the Army, just to search your Hanzos or your upstart Golden Ninjas. And lastly, for the traps, I am playing 2 copies of Ninjutsu Art of Super Transformation. This card is insane. I've talked about this card in the past. It's basically like a super polymerization. So what it does is you target a face-up ninja monster you control and a face-up monster your opponent controls. You send them to the graveyard and then special summon a dragon, dinosaur, or sea serpent type monster from your deck whose level is less than or equal to the combined levels of the monster sent. And then when this card leaves the field, you banish that monster. So what that means is if you summon Hanzo search this, set this, your opponent normal summons a monster, you're able to get rid of the Hanzo, or activate this, get rid of the Hanzo, get rid of the opponent's monster, and summon like a Guaiba or Velo from deck. So very, very good card. And then obviously, you know, you can start doing all your other plays. And I'm also playing 1 Ninjutsu Art of Transformation. This card, you tribute a face-up ninja monster and special summon a beast, wing beast, or insect monster from your deck, hand or deck, whose level is less than or equal to the tributed monsters plus 3, and then when this card leaves the field, you destroy that monster. So basically, at that point, if you summon Hanzo, you can search this, and then you can say on your opponent's turn or something, activate this, tribute the Hanzo, summon a Mermail from deck. Mermail, since it's special summon, will pop a back row, and that also will mean your Dionea is live. There's a lot of times where I want to play a second copy of Transformation, simply because it's just such a good card, and when we get into one of the other trap cards I'm playing, it'll make a little more sense. But opening these is actually really good, especially if you open like one of these and a Hanzo. I'll explain that in a minute, though. After that, we play 2 copies of Breakthrough Skill, just really good negation, and works really good with your upstart Golden Ninjas, because it's a discard that will have an effect in Grave. And also 2 copies of Fiendish Chain, because more negation is good, and stopping attacks is nice. After that, 2 copies of Call the Haunted. This is why I say I want to play more ninjutsu traps. So if you say open, let's just say, like Super Transformation and Call the Haunted and a Hanzo, what you can do is like summon Hanzo, search either another Super Transformation, or in this case I would probably go for just the regular transformation, and then you set both of these. Your opponent goes to summon, you activate the Super Transformation, get rid of the opponent's monster, and your Hanzo summon a Guaiba. And then your opponent, usually, if it's a lot of the decks in the format, will just set some back row and go to end phase. What you can do is Call the Haunted, summon back the Hanzo. Hanzo's effect will trigger because it's special summon to search an upstart Golden Ninja. And then you're able to super or regular transformation the Hanzo and summon Mermail, which will pop a back row. And at that point, you have, say, a Guaiba, a Mermail, an upstart Golden Ninja in hand, and it's your turn, so you're drawing for turn. So just really, really good card. So again, it kind of makes me want to up the ninjutsu art count. And if I were to up the ninjutsu art count, I'd probably up Call the Haunted to 3 as well, just because it's such a good card. And lastly, just a couple more one-of traps. Bottomless, Traptrix, Trap Hole Nightmare, Torrential, Wiretap, and Solemn Warning. That is it for the main deck. For the extra deck, we play 2 copies of Evelazar Logia. This is just Solemn Judgment on legs. Pretty much when a monsters would be normal or special summon, or a spell or trap is activated, you detach 2 material from it and negate the activation or summon and destroy it. We play 1 copy of Logia. I play, the breakthrough skills, the fiendishes, and things like that. So while monster negation is good, for at least on field negation, I have a lot of it. So usually 1 Dalka will do the trick. After that, 1 Karen Gorgon, 1 Ragnazero, 1 Blade Armor Ninja. This actually works really cool with Super Transformation, because since you're getting rid of the opponent's cards too, and this is a ninja, as long as the opponent's monster is like level 4, you can get rid of the Blade Armor and their monster and still summon a Guaiba. 1 Black Ship of Corn, 1 101, 1 Giant Hand, 1 Direwolf, 1 Exciton, 1 Emerald, Dweller, Cowboy, and Rhapsody and Berserk to round out the deck. The extra deck has a lot of space, honestly, so if there's anything that you want to play, you basically can kind of just make it however you feel comfortable. If there's a card like, for example, Exciton or 101, if you want to play multiple copies, definitely go for it. The deck is super flexible with a lot of the cards in it, as I mentioned with some of the other card choices that I'd consider. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up on it. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified anytime I put a new video out. Comment any videos you want to see in the comment section. I try to respond to as many of those as I can. And anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.